Generation to Generation Cowboys and Sports Talk. My dad, my partner, my co-host, Cowboy Joe 64.
I am the father.
Just to get the Cowboys 2 good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about. All right, hello everyone. You're looking live at Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talks, and I'm the host, DJ. I tell you what, aka Jules, and I'm joined with my dad, Cowboy Joe 64 on Twitter, and I'm joined with my cousin, Monica McCarley. I talk about her on our show. I always refer to her as Super Monica because she's a super mom. She's a mommy manager, and she's a founder of Clay's Color Crew. So we're gonna do something special with her today. We're gonna interview her and just kind of chop it up and bring awareness to the foundation and some other things. And so you wanted to say something there? You want to introduce her before you jump into the interview and the questions and everything?
So appreciate you guys joining our show. And Monica, again, thanks for joining. We've been trying to do this for a while, and we finally were able to pull it off. And so we're excited about what we're going to get into. And so you forgot one of the most important things. She is the mom of Collin Simmons, the UT Texas Longhorn sensation. So
That's right.
um, we are glad to have her on and really excited about what Collin is doing on and off the field. So, Monica, again, welcome. You want to just say hi right quick and then we'll get started?
Thank you. Um, yeah, of course. Appreciate the accolades.
Hmm.
Okay. And we're
So
going to go ahead and just jump in, Jules, and we're not going to keep her on long.
and
And
then Colin is number 8 player overall in college football. So somebody asked me last week what was his rank. They thought he was ranked number 1. So he's ranked number 8, and he's probably I would guess he would have to be the number 1 football. I mean number 1 defensive player. I would guess, but I'm finna find out though. But you can go
yeah, I
ahead.
would be curious to know who's ranked over him.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, let's get started. So Monica, we're just gonna go back and just talk about the Redbird Raiders. So that's an Oak Cliff Little League program. So what made you guys choose the Redbird Raiders over other Little League teams?
Like the Oak
Let
Cliff
me
Titans.
start off by saying he was supposed to go to the Titans. That was actually my decision for him to go to the Titans. But at the time, I was married to Clayton's dad, and that was the team that was in his old neighborhood um, that he kind of grew up watching. So that's where he wanted him to play.
And so one of the things we're gonna talk about is just how we're just all aligned. So we did mention earlier that we're cousins, so we're first cousins. We want to get that out the way. And what's kind of odd about our families, I think I'm the senior cousin. So in black families, when you have the old cousin, he's often referred to as uncle cousin. So that's me. I'm Uncle
Yes,
Cousin Joe, which is kind of weird for you guys because your 2 sisters and your brother Jason. We're cousins, but yeah, but
sorry.
I'm really the uncle because I'm the older guy. But I wear it
Yeah,
proudly.
Yeah,
But
Rich,
yeah,
it's
so yeah,
like
go
a
ahead, Jules.
just like a respect thing in the
it
black
is.
household. You know,
It
like I
Oh, for
got
is.
a
sure.
lot of cousins like that I call my aunts and uncles because it just doesn't seem right to call them cousin. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Right, right,
it's
right.
just a respect thing. That's all.
And we had the same confusion with cousin Kim. He doesn't know
Yeah,
whether to call her Aunt Kim or cousin Kim, so it's the
yeah.
Yeah,
same type of thing.
I
So
say the same thing to her.
you do?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Now
call
let
her
me
aunt.
ask you, and I should know this. So who's the oldest, you or Cole?
I'm older, so we're about 6 months apart. So I was born in April. He was born in December of
Okay.
'82. So,
Okay. All right. I knew you guys were right there together. Okay, so
hmm
we'll talk about Cole later. But let's go back to Redbird because that's where I grew up. That's my hood, and it's a historical neighborhood. So back in my day, the some of the best little league teams played at Redbird, and they changed the name to Thurgood Marshall later, which is that came after my time. But yeah, that neighborhood, that recreation center, it was legendary back in my day. So for him to just start his career there is really just really wonderful to see. So let me ask you, so with the Redbird Raiders, do you remember the moment when you said to yourself, he can really play big time college, not college, but high school football?
nope.
You
There
don't?
was never a moment. So I have to give some background. I am not a sports person. I just learned football probably Collin's junior year of high school. I was just a big supporter of my kid, and we put him in sports all year round because his energy level was here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he just needed something to do, and that's just really what happened. He hated football. To be honest with
Mm.
you, I really just made him play because it was
He wanted
nothing
to
else
play
to do.
basketball. Yeah,
Well,
he was.
even at that time, he was what, 4? I think he started off playing soccer. He started off playing soccer and base and t-ball, but soccer was okay. T-ball was too slow.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So that was at 3 years old. Then at 4, he could start playing flag football and basketball. So he actually, you know what? He played for the Titans basketball team 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. I
See
think he
now.
was like 6.
Now, Jules, we trying to figure. I'm trying to figure that out now. He gonna do Titans this year, flag.
Mhm.
We gonna see how he likes that. Cause they, these kids nowadays they don't like to be physical like how we used to be back in the day.
Mm-mm.
All that running into it, tackling into each other, they don't really like that. So
No, they
we
don't.
gonna see. We gonna see. But I remember when I just knew that Colin was gonna be different for sure. When I was like I forgot what it was we were doing, but I don't know if it was Christmas or if it was I don't know what it was. It might have been Christmas or Easter, but we had came over there and we was all out in the back playing basketball. And see, Colin was probably about like I don't know. I want to say he was 10 or 11 or something like that. He might have been like in the sixth grade, going to the seventh or something like that. But I was just like you know, at that time, I don't know how old I was. I was probably a teenager. I was probably like 19, maybe something like that. But I was thinking that I was gonna go out here and I was gonna play them, and I was gonna be able to look little cousin them like big cousin them like I normally do. I'm gonna be faster. I'm gonna be better and all of that. But Colin was just like it was just like okay. I was just like wait a minute. Okay, now he can really play and
Yeah.
he's really big and he is really like, okay, I really would have to give my, like he probably could beat me back then, just be 100. You know what I mean? That's what I realized. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be Colin's gonna be different for sure. If he do the athlete route, he gonna be cold at whatever he do. So
I
I
didn't
just
really know that though,
hey,
Julian. I had no idea. Like people kept saying it, and I just was still like, okay, well, it is what it is. I wasn't. My whole mindset was education, education, education. The sports is just
mm,
secondary for me.
yeah,
So I always just tried to make sure that he was really good in the classroom.
no for
It
sure.
had I had no clue we would be here.
Well, see, when you a man and you kind of when you a boy, a growing man, and then you understand, like sports was our number one thing. We love sports. So
Yeah,
when you see other family members, playing sports, it's like you can tell if they're gonna be good or not. Like like with my size, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to go play college ball. I just wasn't gifted to be that big. If I was bigger, I probably would have. But that's just a thing. But Colin was just he was one of them ones for sure.
Yep. And you were a good little league player too, Julian. And
I was.
so, another self-disclosure. So my uncle was, of course, your dad number two there, Paul, and we're gonna talk about him a little bit. But um, so he had his career with the Redbird Raiders, and we went to his jersey retirement ceremony for the Redbird Raiders, which was really cool. And I'm
Unique.
thinking it kind of caught him by surprise. He was a little emotional at that event. So they retired his number from the Redbird Raiders, and then he started, of course, his career at Duncanville. Now, at Duncanville, let's just talk about the program itself. So the legendary coach, Coach Samples. So before Collins' time, they played North Shore, which is the high school out of Houston, and Coach Samples had never won a state championship before, and they lost on a Hail Mary to North Shore with about 3 seconds left. The game was won. Now, do you remember watching that game? Was Colin
I
in
do
junior high
remember this.
then?
So they were already like the high school had already been having Colin come up to the games.
Okay.
Um, and he would be in like the what do you call it, the sports box,
Mm-hmm.
wherever
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
announcers are. He would go up there and watch the games while he was in middle school.
Okay.
They had already been like looking at him in middle school, and so I remember that game because I remember, I think one of the coaches, I think he ended up riding with the team to the game.
Okay.
So he went to the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it
So
was, I think it was at the baseball stadium.
okay. So he
Anyway,
was in junior high then.
he was in junior high.
Okay.
Yes.
So heartbreaking game. They lost at the last second. And just watching the game live, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then
I
later
know.
on, so now as a sophomore, I believe they played them again when he was a sophomore. Was that a different team his sophomore year?
No, it was
It
them
it was North
again.
Shore. Okay.
Hmm.
So they played North Shore his sophomore year. Another close game. They ended up losing at the end. It wasn't as tough because it wasn't a last second loss. And then so let's just go to his junior year now. His junior year,
Yeah.
they played North Shore again for the state championship.
Yeah.
Now I actually got to the game late, so I wasn't able to get up to you guys. Security wouldn't let me get up there where you guys were.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got there in the second quarter, but I was down near the goal line because his junior year, Jules, if you have the game, we were looking at it. So North Shore is driving in the last minute or so of the game. And they say football is a game of inches. So North Shore drove all the way down the field.
Hmm.
They needed one first down to extend the drive. And it was like a fourth and inches. And Duncanville stopped them just 1 inch. Now, if they had got that first down, I think North Shore wins the game. Now, what I heard, I wasn't able to make it up to you guys, but I heard you were on the floor of the suite in the final seconds. Is that correct?
I was so nervous the whole time because, mind you, Sock played that day, DeSoto played that day, and then Duncanville
Mm-hmm.
was last. So we
Yep.
had the suite the whole day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think up until that time, like, I was just nervous. I was so nervous because basically this was his first time, um, basically starting in
Yeah.
playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just made me nervous.
Man, I had my head down in that drive. I just couldn't. It was one of those drives where I was just like, I was nervous. I couldn't
Yeah.
really watch it. But I felt like they was gonna get a stop because they had been. I just felt like they was overwhelming them at that point. But I still was just like they
Oh, they definitely look tired.
yeah. But their
Yeah.
quarterback that came out of nowhere because we didn't even know who he was, and he was giving them the business. He
And
was
he
he was
wasn't their
Yeah.
main quarterback. He was the backup.
correct. That's why I said he came out of nowhere. We didn't even know who he was, and he was
Yeah.
balling.
So I was sitting there kind of like on the 20-yard line when they made the stop, and I believe Collin just took off and ran down the field after the game was over. So I came up to the suite after the game. You were down on the field celebrating. So, when that game was over, just to kind of talk about your emotions, his junior year, he gets a state championship. He's the MVP of the game. Just kind of take us back to what that was like when you was down on the field.
It was probably one of my most proudest moments for him during his high school career, as an athlete, um, because they had worked so hard. Like, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into getting to that moment is like the parents have to work overtime too. So it was up and down the street for practice, Saturday practices. You can't do anything. You can't have a Thanksgiving. Like, I wasn't allowed to go visit my Houston family. It was
Mhm,
just a lot. And they
mhm,
Hmm.
start in the summertime. They
mhm.
start strength and conditioning in the summertime. And it's like football is on up until December for sure.
It's a
Yeah.
full-time sport.
It's a
I'm trying to
full
find
time.
I'm trying to find a video. I had took a video at that game. I had took a few videos at that game.
So that game is over. You guys get the state championship his junior year, and Coach Samples, that was his first time winning state after all of these years. Just an amazing
Yes.
moment for him after all of the heartbreak, and for Colin to get that done his junior year. And then his senior year, you play North Shore again. This time, just I was there. I made it up to the suite this time, but it really wasn't a close game. But it kind of was. That Duncanville got out to a big lead. North Shore came back a little bit. It never was in doubt like the year before. You were relaxed just based on what I could see. You might have been nervous. I couldn't tell,
I think
but
I was just busy hosting. I wasn't really watching the game like I
yeah. Well, we were enjoying the food. but you were a great
Yeah.
host. But I couldn't tell that you were nervous. You was kind of
Not
chill
that
to
no,
me.